Stellar Crown is coming soon, and with it is a new battle pass on Pokemon TCG Live featuring some new free decks for us to try out. I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me tell you all about the new free decks in the Pokemon TCG Live Battle Pass. The first one before we get to the first one, it's coming out on Thursday, September 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So mark that on your calendar. And the decks we're getting, the first one we're going to talk about is Terapagos EX. This is on the free battle pass. And I think they have a really strong foundation here for a Terapagos deck. And Terapagos is probably the best new deck that we're getting out of Stellar Crown. A lot of the existing decks are probably still better than Terapagos EX, but in terms of new decks, Terapagos is probably the best one out of the bunch. It's a basic colorless Pokemon with 230 HP. It has the attack Unified Beatdown for 2 colorless energy, where it does 30 damage for each of your bench Pokemon. Now, if you've only got 5 bench Pokemon, which is technically the limit, you're only doing 150 damage, which isn't great. But when you combo that with the new Area 0 Underdepths, where if you've got a Tera Pokemon in play, you can put 8 Pokemon on the bench. All of a sudden, Unified Beatdown can swing for upwards of 240 damage, which is a nice chunk of damage to dole out. You can knock out pretty much every big EX and big V, like big basic EX and basic V, except for Blood Moon Ursaluna, like in a one-hit KO. But yeah, that's some really good firepower there if you can get all of the Pokemon on the board and that 2 energy as well. Crown Opal isn't a bad attack as well, though the energy cost is kind of clunky for a Grass, Water, and Lightning. You're doing 180 damage, and you prevent attacks from basic Pokemon that aren't colorless. So something like a Raging Bolt can't hit you after you use Crown Opal. But keep in mind, effects of attacks you do not block. So Roaring Moon's Frenzied Gouging, for one, or Giratina's Star Abyss, those will all shred through this and will knock you out. So keep that in mind. We also have the new Bouffalant, where its Curly Wall ability makes your colorless Pokemon take 60 less damage when you have 2 or more Bouffalants in play. This ability does not stack, but essentially gives your Terapagos an effective HP of 290. And when you combo that with the Bravery Charm, of which you get 2 in the deck, Terapagos EX becomes incredibly tanky. So really tanky basic Pokemon that's swinging for decent damage. I like it a lot. We also have the new Noctowl. Now, it's weird that the free version only comes with 1 copy of this Noctowl. We do have the Jewel Hunt ability, where if you've got a Tera Pokemon in play and you evolve up to Noctowl, you get to grab 2 trainer cards of your choice, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So incredible draw card in the Noctowl. Unfortunately, only getting 1 in the level 0, but you can unlock more through the Battle Pass. We also have Fan Rotom in here with that Fan Call ability, where on your first turn, only on your first turn, Fan Rotom can help you grab 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less and put them onto your bench. And this can be a great way of getting those 2 Bouffalants in play, as well as a Hoot Hoot to evolve into Noctowl on the following turn. So I'm not going to cover every single card here. We're just going to cover some of the highlights and some of the new cards. For example, Crispin is great energy acceleration for this deck, where it lets you grab 2 basic energy of different types from your deck, put 1 on a Pokemon of your choice, and put another one in hand, essentially letting you attach 2 energy to get 2 energy on the board, helping you attack with Terapagos in one attachment. It could also help you build up Crown Opal as an attack, or even the Snorlax, the single prize one from Lost Origin, of which we have 2 copies. We can help build that up with Crispin as well. Glass Trumpet, another great form of energy acceleration, where if you've got a Tera Pokemon in play, you can choose 2 of your bench colorless Pokemon and attach a basic energy from your discard pile to each of them. So this is going to be a huge card for colorless decks going forward. We do have a couple of unlocks at level 16, where we're getting some special illustration rares and some alternate arts of some cool cards here. Terapagos EX, we get a couple more copies of Noctowl. We get a copy of Briar, where if your opponent has exactly 2 prizes left and you are able to knock out their active Pokemon, you will get an extra prize. So really nice touch there. And you have to knock out with a Tera Pokemon, so keep that in mind. 1 copy of Sharon's Care, effectively for healing. You just get to scoop one of your colorless Pokemon off the board and all attached cards, put them all back into your hand. 4 copies of the Gold Area Zero Underdepth Stadium, and a copy of Scoop Up Cyclone, where you can just pick up one of your Pokemon and all attached cards put into your hand. It's the same as Sharon's Care, except you can use it on any Pokemon and it's an item. And then 4 copies of Double Turbo Energy. If you get all the way to level 50, which isn't that hard to do, basically you're just you play the game like once or twice a day and for a couple of weeks, and you'll get to level 50, and you'll get a 3rd copy of this Terapagos EX, the special illustration rare, which I gotta say, absolutely stunning card. Here's an example of a upgraded Terapagos EX list from Japan. Shoutouts to Pokekabook for this list. This is one that did well in tournament. I like the extra copy of the Noctowl as well as the Fan Rotom. I like the Beeble line being added here as well. And then we even see a Iron Leaves EX teched in here for the Charizard matchup specifically. And I also chose this list because this one kept the Scoop Up Cyclone, which I'm not sure if it's going to be the default A-Spec for Terapagos EX, but because the deck comes with one, I thought I would show an upgrade example that also keeps the Scoop Up Cyclone. Now let's move on to Galvantula EX, which is the deck in the Premium Battle Pass. And I always say that the single best thing you can buy in the in-game shop is the Premium Battle Pass, because you're getting an extra deck and a whole bunch of rewards. So there is no exception here. Absolutely grab that Premium Battle Pass for Stellar Crown and get yourself a copy of this deck, as well as all of the upgrades that will eventually come with it as you unlock them. And we're going to start things off here with the new Joltik. It's tiny. It's only got 30 HP, but really nice attack here where Battery Charge lets you search your deck for 2 Grass Energy, 2 Lightning Energy, and put them onto your Pokemon in any way you like, then shuffle your deck. It's probably going to get knocked out on the following turn, but you get yourself 4 energy on the board, helping you set up your attackers, such as Galvantula EX, Lightning type Pokemon, 260 HP. Its charged web attack for a Lightning and a colorless does 110 damage, or if your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX or Pokemon V, does 110 more damage. It's a 220 is a really nice chunk of damage, especially since it's going to knock out a lot of big basic EXs, but it's not going to knock out all of them, right? Certain ones like a Roaring Moon, Iron Hands, Iron Thorns, Raging Bolt, those have 230, 240. You're going to come up just short, which is very annoying. And then on top of that, you're only doing 110 damage to those sort of multi-prize EXV Pokemon. So against a deck like Ancient Box, you're going to be coming up short, which is unfortunate. However, we do have the Fulgurite attack where that does 180 damage, and you get to item lock your opponent, but you have to discard all your energy, and the energy cost is really weird here at Grass, Lightning, and Fighting Energy. Now, there are combos to help chain this over and over again and get all that energy back, but you're not going to get it at the level 0 version of this deck. Also, while we're here, we should talk about the other Galvantula that comes with the deck. This is from Shrouded Fable. It has the Shocking Web attack where for 1 grass, it does 1 grass and a colorless does 50 damage, and if that colorless is lightning, or if you just have another lightning attached there, this attack does 80 more damage, so 130. And if the Pokemon you're attacking has an ability, you're doing another 50 damage, which ramps this all the way up to 180. And because it's grass type, you are hitting Charizard EX for weakness, and that will pretty much one-hit KO a Charizard. So really nice tech there. What isn't a nice tech, though, is the Garganackle here, which takes up a ton of space in this deck with the 3-1-2 line. And it's not a great attacker, to be honest. 170 plus you take 60 less damage for a fighting and 2 colorless. It's really clunky to set up and then get all that energy on there. So kind of a waste. I get it. Like, Pokemon just kind of threw this in there because you're getting better cards for Galvantula later, but these are very much wasted spots, and I would take out the Garganackle line immediately when you unlock this deck. There are some unlocks. The Speaking of unlocks, we have, of course, we're getting some nicer cards in terms of the Joltik and the Galvantula, nicer arts of those. But we also have the Blissey EX line, and this is where things get really spicy because Blissey EX has the Happy Switch ability where you can move an energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon, and you combo that with the Glass Trumpet, which accelerates an energy to two of your colorless Pokemon, and you can attach energy from the Glass Trumpet to your Blissies, and then Happy Switch can move energy over to your Galvantula, and you can do that. Yeah, I think it's once per Blissey. So you move two energy from two of your Blissies, then you attach a third one with the on from your hand, and then Galvantula can do 180 damage and item lock over and over again. So really cool combo there. And even Sandy Shock's EX, its inclusion here lets you absorb an energy from the discard pile, a fighting energy from the discard pile into your hand, at which point you would, or into your onto the Sandy Shocks, and then Blissey can move that energy from Sandy Shocks over to the Galvantula. So some cool combos possible with Galvantula and Blissey working together. We also have a couple gold copies of Switch, as well as a Hyper Aroma. Hyper Aroma is really good in this deck because the Blissey and the Galvantulas are all stage 1 Pokemon. So being able to grab 3 of those in one shot is really nice. At level 50, you're going to be getting an extra copy of the Illustration Rare Joltik and the Special Illustration Rare Galvantula EX. And here's an example of an upgraded Galvantula EX deck with the Blissey in here. We also squeeze in a 1/1 Beebrill line to help draw cards. We also got the Noctowl line to also draw more cards. And we even have the Sparkling Crystal here, which cuts our attack cost by 1, using this as our ace spec so that Galvantula can attack a little easier. So really like this combo here, and I'm looking forward to trying this out next week or whenever you see this, when Stellar Crown comes out. So some really nice choices for free decks in the Battle Pass. Again, you're not spending any in-game money. It's just and like you can get the Terapagos one for free just by playing, and then I would strongly recommend using your in-game crystals to unlock the premium Battle Pass and get the Galvantula deck as well. But for now, I gotta get going. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me on all the things: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at In3rdPerson. You can also find me on Twitch at In3rdPerson, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And check out the website, in3rdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So until the next one. Actually, you know what? One last thing. I just wanted to say, thank you so much for your support on the YouTube channel, on the Twitch channel. Things have been going great on all fronts since I came back from a little bit of a vacation, and I know some of it has to do with the excitement around the Charizard League battle deck, and I've been making a bunch of videos on that. But just seeing your excitement for my content and all the kind words you've shared and all of the views, I really appreciate your support throughout the years with the content and all of the work that I do here. So once again, thank you. All right, I got to get out of here. I'm recording this way late in the night. I wanted to try and squeeze out this news as fast as I could. So thank you for watching this video all the way to the very end. I'll see you next time. Later.